Hey guys, hey! Heard myself an echo. How you is? Is you doing? It's Nirvana here with MulletWarehouse.com, and I'm coming to you today with a update on my hip situation. So, while I was in Vancouver, that's Washington, not Canada, I had some pain. I've had arthritis and I've had degeneration of my joints forever. You can't expect to be over 500 pounds and walk away clean. Kind of don't work that way. Something somewhere ain't gonna be quite right. So, while I was in Vancouver, it was wet, it was kind of rainy, it was colder than what I was used to here in California, and so that got my arthritis kind of acting up. And then I did a lot of activity. I was standing a lot more than I normally do, even though I work out a lot, or was. I don't typically stand for 2 or 3 hours at a time. Like I go and do what I do, and then in between people sit down. But when I was serving in, I would stand for 2 or 3 hours, at a time in one specific place, and it kind of aggravated my hip, which isn't a big deal. Normally, my hip will be a little touchy, and then, I rest it and it's fine. So, bursitis is the inflammation of the muscles in the sac around your hip joint. It's very common. You can get it in your shoulder, you can get it in your elbow, anywhere you have a joint, obviously. So this is a very common thing. Now, most of the time, it can be taken care of with NSAIDs, which are anti-inflammatory medications, which I can't take. So I can't take what would ultimately, get rid of it. Now, I used to take freaking ibuprofen like it was, it was fucking Pop-Tarts. What the hell's them? Sweet tarts. Pop-Tarts. But I used to take them every day because that would help my joints and stuff like that. Well, since gastric bypass, I can't have it. No can has. So I don't have a good way to negate the pain that I have. So I'm always in chronic pain. But you learn to live with it after a while. You learn what your good days and what your bad days are like. I show you guys that pretty much everything here on this channel. Good days, bad days, that kind of stuff. But I don't talk about my chronic pain a lot because to me, I've been living with it for 12 plus years. And so I'm kind of just like, yeah, okay, so I hurt. Like, what good does it do to whine about it all the time? Like, no. I don't want to hear it. I don't want you guys to have to hear it. So I don't really mention it all the time. But back to what I was trying. Tangent over. Ooh, some of these messages in there. What was I saying? Oh, anyway, so when I came back, my hip was kind of icky. My hip was still icky, and it started to rain here and was wet here. And then I was like, ah, crap. So I have been having a lot of issues with my hip. I finally had enough to start calling my doctor and talking. And I told you I have a new PCM because mine moved to Florida. And yeah, that conversation. If you want to know about that conversation, go on my Facebook because I don't want to talk. Done with all that happy horse mess. So that didn't go very well. Then, since I wasn't getting any relief there, besides they just told me to lose some weight, I'll get right on that. It came to the point to where I couldn't sleep. So when I realized that I wasn't able to sleep because the burning in my hip, Matthew decided to take me to the ER whether I wanted to or not, because I couldn't get into my other doctor without another, waiting another 2 to 3 weeks to get fitted in, and I wasn't going to be able to stand it. So, I go into the ER, they take a look at me. I have a ridiculous ball on the side of where my hip joint is, where it's just inflamed. He's worried about septic hip, which I don't have. Thank you, Jesus. He's poking and prodding me. He's a really nice person. The nurse was really nice. I like to go into a hospital and make somebody my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing me a damn favor. So, I try to be like super polite and like really sweet and like really happy. And, that's always what I try to do. Because if you go in there all grouchy and shitty, like, they're not going to treat you like you want to be treated. Like, even if I'm in like a ridiculous amount of pain, like, I might be like a lot quieter, but I'm very, very polite. I'm like, yes, it's hurting me very badly, yeah. So much in here today, so much. Anyway, so I went and had a whole bunch of tests done. I went and had, he actually wanted to help me out, and like, he wasn't just like, oh, so, you're fat, go home and be fat at home because there's nothing we can do for you. He actually gave me some Robaxin, which is a muscle relaxer, which helps relax the muscles around my hip to help it not be inflamed. And he gave me a shot of Toradol, which is an it's a steroid, but it helps with inflammation, which we can't have very often, mind you, with gastric bypass because of all kinds of horrible stuff that can happen with that. And then he gave me hydrocodone, Norcos, which is hydrocodone with Tylenol, because I was already taking Tylenol at home. So, needless to say, I've had none today, and it is almost 10 o'clock in the morning. And I know I should be taking it, but you don't know my history. And if you don't know my history, you won't understand why I don't just chug down all this medication. So I'm being very lenient. I don't like the fuzzy feeling when you take these kinds of because I took them yesterday to try to help me out, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like being out of my head. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I don't like not being in control of this my brain meats. I like to be in complete and utter control of my brain meats. I don't like feeling out of sorts. So anyway, after talking to him and getting the medication and coming home, I've been told that I need a partial hip replacement. And because I'm only 37 years old, yes I am, I'm 37 years old, I just got some baby face, that they don't want to give it to me until I am closer to 45. I don't understand that logic. But apparently, those kinds of operations need to be redone later on in life. But that doesn't make any sense to me. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, well, wouldn't it be better to give it to me now? Let me use it now. And then, well, let me use it now. And then in 6 to 10 years, I'll only be like, 47 at the most. And I will have a better recovery time because I'm not so old, instead of waiting until I'm 45 and then I'd be 55, and then if I needed another I'd be 65. So that don't make no sense. You don't make no sense, Tricare. So I don't know what is all this today. I don't know. Get it out of the shot. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now, is trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Because I don't really feel like sitting here for the next, 7 or 8 years and just being like. I also called my surgeon's office, and, they still haven't come back with any information. He still hasn't called me because he probably doesn't know what to say to me. So, damn computer, come on now. That's about it. So that's what's going on in my life right now. I hope everybody's having a good start to almost a weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm going to be doing absolutely nothing because my hip hurts. I'm actually going to try to paint some rocks. I think a friend of mine on Facebook who lives in the area is going to give me some paint that she doesn't want anymore, and then I'm going to try to get some Mod Podge and stuff like that, and then that way I can kind of sit in bed and paint and kind of feel good, because right now I've just been doing like adult coloring books, and I'm not all that great at coloring. Yeah. So I love you, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing faces. Everybody's already said that. You already said, you heard what I said that already, so I don't need to say it again.